Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and I am so uber stoked to be able to be talking about One Punch Man again on my channel. It has been a long time coming, waiting around for Season 2 to officially debut, and it finally has. I just got done watching the first episode of Season 2 as of the time of this recording, not 5 minutes ago, and it was awesome sauce. It's hilarious to me. It's kind of mind-blowing to me because just about a week ago or 2 weeks ago, we had been given this Season 2 trailer and everyone was up in arms, from my anime list to Facebook, saying the animation was going to be horrible, there were too many static still frames in it and some bad CGI and all that kind of stuff, and that it wasn't going to live up to the hype, it wasn't going to live up to the status quo of quality from the first season. And at least for me, after watching this first episode of Season 2 of One Punch Man, all fears and concerns are completely and totally allayed. Not that I even shared in those fears and concerns, because if you go back to my community feed post sharing that trailer, I said most people may consider myself having the taste of a wet mop. But as far as I was concerned, it didn't look that bad to me. I was really stoked for it, really excited for it. And all of that was answered with this first episode. I loved everything about it, the vibe. It had me bouncing off the walls again. I was ear to ear grinning like a dopey ass the whole way through, laughing my ass off, and just really excited that it was back and picking up very much where we left off, although focusing on the King character and how, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover in any way, shape, or form. Here is the guy who's supposed to be the highest tier S-ranking hero of all time, the strongest human being in the world, and it just so happens that none of it is true whatsoever. He just happened to be in all of these places and times that Saitama was there and had defeated these villains and such like that. Even going back to his youth when he got the scars down the one side of his face, it was Saitama, before he lost all his hair, who saved his life for all intents and purposes. And it just so happens, coincidentally, that he's there every time Saitama throws down and defeats a villain, leaves like nothing but, you know, slime and muck left over in their places. And people just assumed because he happened to be there every single time, this has to be the guy. He has to be the one doing it. Because, of course, Saitama's not going to stick around. He's doing this for fun. He just wants to be a hero for fun, has no idea about the legal system and being a legally, deputized hero for hire, that kind of thing. And so he just makes his way after he defeats a villain. He's pissed off that he can do it in one punch and there isn't any challenge, any stakes, for him as a fighter, all that kind of stuff. He just goes and he buys his ramen and he goes home. And here is King, left over in the aftermath of so many of these things. You know, King, he's like a homebody otaku anime fan and gamer, buying dating sims and stuff like that. And he got stuck with being called the world's strongest hero, and he just hasn't had the courage to deny it. And I love the fact that when we have like the lizard dude show up at the start of the episode, and then like this giant robot and everything like that, the lizard dude just cowers out of the fear of all of the crowd building up around King and talking about how renowned he is, how, the heartbeat is like the King engine, and it'll thwart evil just by his sheer magnificence of existence. All he has to do is stand there, and here Lizard Man is cowering and running away, having a heart attack or whatever it is. King don't have to raise a hand, raise a finger. But then with the robot, like this robot is pointedly angling for King. He wants to take down the world's strongest hero, which is actually, of course, as we know, the viewer knows, and Genos knows, is Saitama. But it's angling toward King, and Genos ends up whooping the robot's ass, going high and mighty on him, while King takes off running. He pisses himself, he runs home, and unbeknownst to him, he's going to try to calm himself by playing his newly bought, dating sim video game sequel. And here is Saitama, who just like came in through his patio door, and is just like, so dude, why'd you run away? I mean, you're King, you're the strongest hero in the world. Why'd you run away? Why'd you cower? Are you just sort of bored with being a hero, or are you tired of kicking villain ass? And I was really super satisfied and just grateful that they didn't try to stretch this out for longer than just the one episode. Like, they could have easily had this stretch out among episodes where King never comes clean, he never, faces off with Saitama and reveals the fact that, no, I'm not a hero at all. It's just, I'm always at the right place at the wrong time, that kind of thing. And it's just coincidence and happenstance that people think I'm this great hero. If they had, not had him reveal that in this episode, I would have been sorely disappointed, because that would have been just, we don't know how long it would have gone before Saitama got him to reveal that, and this, that, and the other thing, and always seeing him cowering. There's only so much time they can keep going back to that that joke, that punchline, that, okay, King is a pussy, and it's just happenstance that he is assumed to be the world's greatest hero. They could really wear out the welcome of that particular punchline. So I'm glad that they revealed it in this episode, and Saitama takes out this giant crow that comes out of nowhere that is also angling to take King down. He just halts it, like holding its beak right through the wall, where the entire apartment of King is destroyed as it tries to come in and destroy him. And I'm just ear to ear grinning, like I said, like a dopey ass. I was just enjoying the ever-loving hell out of it. And then after Genos defeats the robot, and there's like the little sort of mini version inside, mini-me version or whatever, and he brings back the carcass, the remains, back to the doctor that created him or helped co-create him, has powered him up and souped him up and everything like that we called back to in season 1 respectively. I like that we called back to this cyborg that had run amok, that had destroyed Genos' hometown and sort of been the instigator, the impetus behind his becoming cyberized as he is, because he wants to become stronger. He wants to hunt down this evil cyborg that destroyed his hometown. And I think I must have said this somewhere along the lines of season 1 in my discussions, but part of me almost wonders if this isn't going to be like a backhanded thing where it turns out it was Genos, like even though it's supposed to be the instigator of why he became cybernetic and everything like that, what if there's some sort of trip in the matrix of his mind, of his memory, where in the initial experimentations of making him cybernetic, adding cybernetic enhancements, maybe he lost control, ran amok, and he is actually chasing himself. The demon is himself. I don't know. I could be reading much more into that, and there is actually an evil cyborg out there that he is eventually going to track down and destroy, whatever like that. I don't remember the finer details of where we left off with that in season 1, just that, Genos had been taken under the wing of Saitama and wanted to become that much more uber powerful. And I like that we still have that thread. I mean, it's like I said, everything about season 2, just in this first episode, it's picking up right where we left off. And even down to this overhanging prophecy from the now dead prophesizer, the old lady, who's like doom and gloom and chicken littling it, to the nth degree. Within 6 months, all hell is going to break loose, and we need as many heroes on the job as we can get. The Hero Foundation, they're calling in even villains. They're calling in even the dastardly, piratous, criminals who have powers, because they're desperate. They need as much help as they can get. And there is Speed of Sound Sonic, and he's like, unless Saitama's here, unless the real, legit, strongest guy in the frickin' world is here to help, I'm not doing this. But it's not because he wants to build up Saitama and support him. It's actually because he's gunning for Saitama, much as was the case with the older sister of, Tornado. Again, I've forgotten some of the character names in that time, and they flashed them up on the screen as reminders, but I'm literally coming just off of watching the episode, and I still got to refamiliarize myself with so many of the character names and things like that, especially the bunch of new characters that are going to be sort of in focus in this second season. But I'm just stoked as all hell. In case you couldn't tell by my laughing, happy, bouncing off the walls discussion of episode 1 of season 2. I may be coming back every week to talk about this episodically, as some of the other stuff that I've been doing weekly videos discussing, like Star Trek Discovery, are going to be wrapping up for all intents and purposes, and this might be a nice filler to be able to come on and just joygasm to my fellow anime fans, my fellow One Punch Man fans, talking up how much I love this balls to the wall awesome series. And my go-to, between the first season and the second season, the only thing that came to me as far as One Punch Man was concerned was a poster that I got at Walmart of all places at one point, because of the popularity of the first season. But there's also my end-all be-all Saitama Daisen model figure, which I got from Nippanya-san some time ago. I made a community feed post about that as well, and it's my go-to Saitama figure. He comes with multiple heads and a little grocery bag. It's awesome sauce, and I love it. And so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of Season 2, Episode 1 of One Punch Man, if you've seen it as well. If you loved it as much as I did, love it or hate it, anything goes in the comments below, as long as you are respectable and sharing your own opinion and are respectful of others, all that kind of good stuff. And if you happen to enjoy this video and would like to consider supporting my channel, please have a look at my PayPal support link, posted both in the description as well as the comments below, where you have opportunities that you can look into, very much akin to Patreon, where you can set up a monthly contribution, one-time only kind of thing. Send me a personal message with any contribution you see fit to send my way, requesting topics I may discuss in the future, ask for shout-outs, or make recommendations of things I may check out and shout you out down the line if I happen to talk about. And I'd really love it if you took the time. So until next time, it's going to be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace. One punch!